Take one end from the behind and other end at front. Tie the knot in front of the chest. This is a way of tying the shoulder cravat bandage. Now we will discuss about the general rule of bandaging. Bandage should be appropriate size of the area where we are applying. Means the width of the bandage should be as per the area where we are applying the bandaging. Then while applying the bandaging, we have to stand in front of the person or a patient. It should be tied below to upward and within to outward. The skin fold, if we are tying the bandaging over the skin fold, for example axilla and groin, then we have to put a proper padding over the area so that two skin surface should not touch each other. While tying the bandaging, we have to take care that it should not be neither tight nor too loose, so that it will cause the hindrance to the circulation. If it is too tight, then circulation to the below area will be stopped and it cause the gangrene to the particular area. While tying the bandage, the second turn of the bandage should cover the 2/3 of the first turn, and it should be in a oblique fashion so that it will come in a proper firm position. Now we will learn how to tie a simple spiral bandage. In roller bandage, this is known as tail and this is the head of the bandage. While tying the bandage, we have to stand in front of the patient. Take the tail over the hand. Make the two turn. Then start moving upward. While moving up, we have to cover the 2/3 of the previous turn. Once we cover the area completely, then we have to turn the end inside and either put a safety pin over it, or we can put a adhesive over the bandage. This is the method of tying simple spiral bandage. Now we will talk about the splint. This is a kind of splint. Splint is a rigid appliance which are put under or tied on the fracture area. It supports the area and prevent the movement of the fracture. It is made up of wood or metal. Now I am showing how to treat a patient who is having a fracture over the knee. You can see the fracture over the knee is happened. The patient is lie down. A splint is applied. The size of the splint should be from the hip to the beyond the heel. Means length of the splint should be hip beyond to the heel. Splint, the principle of splint is splint should be well padded. It should immobilize the joint above and below the fracture. Here we have applied the splint over the hollow area, means the area which is hollow, we have filled this area with the cotton pad, and the heel means the area which is padding over the area is less, we have put the cotton pad so that we can put off the heel from the splint. After applying the splint hip beyond to the heel, we have tied the splint with fractured limb with the help of triangular bandage. Here we have used the 3 triangular bandage. First we have applied the triangular bandage over the thigh. Second we have applied the triangular bandage in figure of 8 form in the ankle, and third triangular bandage is applied over the leg. This is a way of treating a person who is having a fracture of a knee. After applying the splint, we have to raise the area with the help of folded blanket or a pillow. Why we are keeping the area raised? To prevent the pooling of blood and to prevent the further bleeding. Positioning. Now we will discuss about the position. Positioning is placing the patient in a good body alignment for comfort or therapeutic need. Why we are keeping the patient in a various kind of positioning? Means the purposes of positioning. First purpose is to provide the comfort, to promote the therapeutic function. Third is to prevent the complication related to immobility. Fourth is to stimulate the circulation. This is dorsal recumbent position, supine position or a horizontal position. The person in this position lie on his back with one pillow under the head, one pillow under the each arm, then hand roll to keep the finger flexed and thumb in the opposition to finger or little adduction fashion. This hand roll is only used in the patient who is having a paralysis. Then you can see here a trochanter roll to prevent the external rotation of the hip, one small pillow under the lumbar spine to support the spine, then a cushion, air cushion under the sacral region to prevent or reduce the pressure over the sacral area. Then there is a air ring, or a cotton rings under the heel of the patient so that we reduce the pressure over the heel. Then footrest or a sandbag to keep the feet in the dorsiflexion position. This will prevent the plantar flexion or the foot drop of a patient. This position is cardiac position or orthopnic position. In this position, the patient is like a sitting position and leaning over the cardiac table. This position is usually given to the person or a patient who is having a respiratory problem, dyspnea or the cardiac problem. This position allows the patient to have a maximum expansion of the chest. By maximum expansion of the chest, the person is having a easiness in the breathing. So what we will do, we will make the patient in a sitting position, then head of the bed is raised, one pillow at the back, air cushion in the sacral region to reduce the pressure, then a cardiac table, it is very important. Over this the patient is lean over it. There is a 2 or 1 pillow in which the patient can comfortably lean down or take a rest. Then at the heel, the patient is having a 2 air ring or a cotton rings to reduce the pressure over the heel, then footrest or the sandbag to prevent the plantar flexion or the foot drop. This is Fowler's position. It is a kind of sitting position on the bed. There are 4 types of Fowler's position. First is low Fowler's position, when the head of the bed is raised at a 30 degree. When it is raised at a 45 degree, it is known as a semi Fowler's position. When it is raised at 60 degree, it is known as standard fallers position. When the head end of the bed is raised at 90 degree, then it is known as high fallers position. So this position is a standard faller position as the bed is raised at a 60 degree. What we will do, we will make the patient to sit like this. One pillow is under the head, another pillow is at the back, air cushion under the sacral region, one pillow under the each arm, then cotton ring under the heel to prevent or reduce the pressure, then sandbag or a footrest to support the feet so that there is no plantar flexion of the feet. This is prone position. In this position, patient lie on her abdomen. Head is turned at one side, one pillow under the head, one pillow under the abdomen. This pillow reduces the pressure over the breast in female and in pressure over the genitalia in men. One pillow under the leg. This will maintain the alignment of the feet so that it will prevent the foot drop, and it will take the weight of the toes off the mattress. This we call lateral position. This can be right lateral or left lateral. This is right lateral position. In this, the patient is having one pillow under the head, one pillow under the arm, which is above arm. The uppermost arm, one pillow is under this. The dependent arm is flexed over the pillow in front of the patient's head, one pillow supporting the back of the patient and one pillow in between the legs. This will prevent the discomfort over the bony prominences, and one trochanter roll or a sandbag at the plantar surface of the feet so that it will not cause the foot drop. This is Sims position. This can be right or left Sims position. This is right Sims position. In this position, the person is having a one pillow under the head, one pillow under the flex arm, it is at the level of shoulder. The other arm, which is dependent, that is extended at the back, one pillow under the leg of the upper leg, and one trochanter roll or a sandbag at plantar surface of the dependent foot. This position is used for sigmoidoscopy or proctoscopy. This position is also given to the administration of enema or suppository. In vaginal examination and rectal examination, we also use the Sims position.